Hello, I am Ben the Bold, and welcome back to another episode from our Icenia campaign. I did just want to start out with a quick overlook and see how the world's looking. Seems like Rome is starting to expand, although the game's been going for several years now. I would have expected them to have maybe taken over a little bit more of the Italian peninsula. Carthage is still looking pretty tame, Phrygia is still holding together, and it looks like, is that Egypt attacking in Kush? It does look that way. Alright, so back to us in the British Isles. Our stance is relatively the same. I am making a decent chunk of money, and I do have my army at minimum maintenance. So I'm making okay-ish money. I do wish that was a little bit more. I am kind of saving up for my first building. I think I'm going to build an academy and increase my research rate just a little bit, or not research rate, excuse me, increase my pop promotion speed, as well as increase my research rate. But as you can kind of tell from the amount of research points we're getting, increasing my research rate isn't going to mean much because I'm just not getting a lot of research points in general. Of course, that will change as I start transforming more of my citizens into, or more of my tribesmen into citizens. Let's go ahead and look at that. It looks like my pop promotion speed is fairly decent, although I can take that down with a little bit. If I reduce unrest, I might think about switching this army and assigning it to this region. That would reduce the unrest by quite a bit. I would need to take the general off of the army, though, to do that. Before I do that, though, I do want to look. I know in our last episode we were kind of hemmed in by just all the alliances that have kind of sprung up in the region. Hopefully some of our neighbors will go to war soon, and we will be able to expand a little bit relatively soon. It was them allying with... Oh, we have an event. I don't really want... Oh, this would... Let's see. Gains 10 loyalty. I think I'd probably want this one. Yeah, I want the loyalty. I don't really know who this researcher is. Icenia. I think that is going to be my best bet. There's a small chance that this guy gets hurt. I think I'm going to go for it. I'm just going to have him flogged. Actually, alright, so back to what I was saying. The alliances of the region kind of hemmed me in, I feel like, in the last episode, although it appears that our neighbors to the north, the Corytania, they have gotten rid of one of their alliances. If I remember correctly, they were at one point... Oh, no, they're still allied with all three. The Parisia, the Jobunia, and the Brigantia. The Brigantia is rather large. They have 10 cohorts. I do outnumber all of them, just not all of them together. If I did declare war, my two allies would join. Let's see how many people they have. They have 11 cohorts, and they have 8. I might be able to take this, and I kind of feel like it's worth the risk. I would hate to get hemmed in. Let me look at my inventions real quick. I might actually... Well, no, I'm going to save up a little bit more to get a building, which will start pushing, which when I get the academy, it will start pushing more pops into the citizen and freeman range, so I will get more manpower as well as more research points. In the meantime, I'm letting my political influence kind of slowly tick up. And the same thing goes for manpower. I do want to a little bit more manpower, especially if I'm planning on going to war with 4 nations at once. It would be all 4 of these countries, and that would just be me and 2 allies. So that's still, it doesn't seem like the odds are super in my favor. I could think about maybe rebuilding my navy. I went ahead and deleted it, or disbanded it earlier to save a little bit of cash, but I might think about using my navy to attack either somewhere on the mainland or attack one of my other neighbors on the British Isles. Or, speaking of which, I could, for instance, they are allied with 3 countries. I could see who Corytania is allied to. For instance, the Brigantians. Let's see. They are allied with Frisia, Corytania. Okay, so something has happened. The perils of childbirth are many. Oh no. And today, Morgana, oh no, and her family experienced the worst of them. Not only did she die in childbirth, but her newborn babe, Carvillus, passed away with her. We cannot imagine the grief that her and her family must feel. I feel the grief as well. I was starting to get attached to our, this is our leader. So we now have a succession. Let's see what happens. After the death of Morgana, the clan chiefs of the Iceni met to elect a fierce and strong leader to shepherd our people in the ever-changing times. After much deliberation, Cartoriitis Duratus was installed in a lavish ritual to which all clan dignitaries were invited. Many, however, were discontent, hoping to see themselves or someone more familiar at the head of the table. We must work towards mending these rifts and bringing together all the chiefs for the goodwill of the Iceni. And the only option we have is they will all accept the situation in time. So it looks like every clan chief is going to lose some loyalty. That's going to be okay. Their loyalty is still pretty high. And I have a new tribal chief. It is this Cartoriitis. Anyway, it's the general that I've been saying since the beginning is probably my best general. He's got that 10 martial skill. He seems to be pretty decent at everything except for his finesse. And of course, I will lose some stability, but I'm still over 30%, so I can still attack. But unfortunately, our first clan chief has passed away during childbirth, which is kind of sad. I was starting to feel a little bit of attachment to her. She was only 41 years old. All right, so let's see how that changes things in our government. I have some positions open just for the apothecary. I'm going to give it to her. Why not? Her loyalty's high. And I need a new researcher. Marshal. Oh, I have another man who's got 10 martial skill. He's a sea dog. Whatever that means. I don't see a trait for him. Yeah, there it is. He's a sea dog, which means he gets extra martial skill. So I'll go ahead and make him my new marshal, or my martial advances researcher at least. Let me also look at how it's affecting our government. It looks like our clan chiefs are still increasing their loyalty, which is good. Let's look at our troop situation. Did I now get his troops? Yeah, it looks like I do. Which is probably going to impact our money situation. We're still in the positive until we switch over to our army maintenance full, which isn't great. We want to make sure that we are getting some more money in the near future. I think, going to go ahead and fabricate a claim on either the Brigantians or the Parisians. Let's see. I think I'm going to fabricate a claim on the Brigantians. They're going to join the war either way. Doesn't really, I'm not really concerned. I'm going to do it on this Coronovia. My plan here, and we'll see how it works. I think it'll be at best 50-50. We'll see how this goes. My plan here is that once I fabricate a claim on the Brigantians, I will then declare war on the Brigantians. This will then bypass the alliance that the Dubunia have made with the Corytanian. Excuse me, these names up here in the wilds of the British Isles are very difficult for me in my American accent to pronounce. But my idea is that by declaring war up here, maybe I'll be able to bypass the alliance that these two nations have made. There we go. When I declare war here, the Corytanian will join the Brigantians and the Dobunian will join me. And so we'll have this kind of southern Britain versus northern Britain war, hopefully with us coming out on top. We'll just have to see. I'm going to let that claim start ticking up. And I'm going to hold off on buying a new building because I have a feeling that I have a feeling that very soon I'm going to need to increase my army maintenance because I am going to have to find a nation to conquer. So I have a new event. The stars of war, the signs of the stars, have been clear according to our druids and proclaim our many victories to come. No matter who our enemies may be, our triumph will be certain as we move to take our rightful place as the rulers of the Iceni. Now to find somewhere to lead our troops to fulfill the destiny. So I don't know what this event chain is where this event chain is going to lead me, but it looks like I need to find a nation to conquer. I want to conquer the Corytania, excuse me. I'm going to hold off on any inventions. What happens if I go to high taxes? Okay, I'm not making enough research. I'm not making enough research to really be that upset about losing 20% of my research points, at least not yet. Again, I'm working on improving my research rate, although that is going to take quite some time. So I am going to go to harsh taxation. That's going to be fine. And what does that do if I now go to full army maintenance? I'm still losing quite a bit per month, although once the war starts, I'm going to be losing quite a few soldiers, so maybe the costs will even out. Let's just keep checking our allies. The ally situation. They're allied with a bunch of people. Can I get another alliance? I might actually take the political influence hit to see about getting another alliance. Will they accept an alliance? They will, and I think I'm going to go ahead and accept that. Now, I now do have too many relations, but sometimes having too many relations is okay. Basically, it's just going to reduce the amount of political influence I make, which I'm kind of okay with, at least right now. It's not decreasing it too bad. I do have an omen ready, and I'm going to keep increasing my manpower recovery speed, because I'm going to need more men to fight the wars to come. It looks like I'm about to lose an alliance, and it is the Cantasia. My friendly, well, maybe not so friendly neighbors to the south seem like they are about done with me, and probably because of my many alliances. So we will, I'm just going to pause it. Let's see what our war situations are looking like. If we declared war right now, we could, the Dabunia would join against us, which is unfortunate. But my two southern neighbors would join with us, as well as the Vatadinina, whatever they're called. They will join as well. I have a feeling that they will be knocked out of the war pretty quickly. Let's take a look at their manpower situation. Yeah, they only have 6 cohorts. I have a feeling that they will be knocked out of the war pretty quickly. If anything, they will just keep soldiers from moving south towards us. Probably the Brigantians will head up there and take care of them. I would prefer that not to happen. So even though I'm about to lose an ally in the south, I think for the time being, I'm going to just keep on fabricating my claim against the Brigantia. If they do call it quits with me, I might be persuaded to attack them. We will just have to see. I'm hoping, you know what, I have a little bit of political influence. I don't really want to use it, but I am going to just go ahead and improve relations with them. And hey, by improving relations just a little bit, it appears that they are no longer about to cancel their alliance. So I think that is 10 political influence well spent. I know I'm not making as much of it as I was because I am over the relations limit, but in this case, I think that's going to be okay. So speaking of losing out on some of my political influence, it looks like here's an event which is going to cost me to lose 50 political influence if I take the A Banquet Splendid option. I could also say that we have other priorities and that will decrease my popularity. I think I am going to go ahead and pay the 50 political influence because I want that sweet, sweet 10 stability. Plus the 10 popularity never hurts either. It's always good to be stable. Let's check out our pop promotion speed. We are promoting pops from from tribesmen to, in this case, freemen. We're doing so pretty quickly. The next one will be done in a little over a year. That's pretty fast. I am going to go ahead and increase my army maintenance. And go ahead, because one of my major mistakes in the last episode was that I didn't increase my army maintenance fast enough, and by the time that I did have enough morale to feel comfortable going to war, the target of my attack had allied up with one of my biggest allies, an ally that I was kind of depending on. So, I'm going to go ahead and, well before I finish fabricating the claim, make sure that my army morale is up. Let's check out their alliance situation. I think this is going to work out just perfectly. It hopefully will just bring in this central block of 4 nations. I will bring in my 3 allies to the south and my 1 ally up north, and we will hopefully all get a chance to gain some land. With that said, I am losing money. I don't really want to disband any troops. I'm not losing money particularly quickly, so at least for the time being, I'm going to leave it the way it is. We are almost all the way to fabricating the claim. Is there another alliance maybe that I would think about taking to make this even more of a sure bet? What about you down here? You won't accept an alliance. And again, this would hurt my political influence gain, but I'm kind of okay with that, at least for the time being. They would accept an alliance. Maybe I will send out that alliance right before declaring war and just see what happens. So we're going to wait a few months. In the meantime, I'll see their unrest is still fairly high. I don't have enough political influence to change. Currently, I am just converting people from Trinovantian to Iceni, which the Trinovantian are in my culture group, so I'm not too worried about converting them. I think when I get the chance, I will probably switch this to the same that I have over here, social mobility. Going to move this army into place. All right, my claim is almost ready. Be in approximately 2 months. I'll be ready to attack, hopefully. We'll see how it goes. I'm still losing money, but again, not very quickly. I should be able to get through this war, assuming nothing bad happens. They do have quite a bit of manpower, quite a bit more than me. Over 5,000 more men, at least in their manpower reserves. I have more men actually in the field, which is what I would prefer. So I am going to go ahead and press this claim to take Cornovia. Now, doing this, I will have to push through the Corytania fairly quickly because I'm going to need to start occupying provinces in Brigantian Cornovia so that I can start gaining more war score. Otherwise, it might actually force me to white peace, which is the last thing I want to do. But I am able to bring in not just 1, not just 2, not just 3, but all 4 of my allies. So this war is going, it does look like this war, assuming that all my allies join, is going to be all 4 of these nations in the south of Great Britain, as well as the Vatadinia in the north. Hopefully this pincer attack from the north and south will be successful. So without any further ado, let's get started. And it looks like all my allies have honored the call. So I'm going to move straight in. In hindsight, I wish that I was taking this fort with that army, but just for now, I'm going to go ahead and move all my troops into Corytanian land. All my allies seem to be readying an attack instead of directly attacking. I'm okay with that, at least for now. Let's see. They only have 600 people manning this fort. If I can get a wall breach, I might go ahead and assault it. Let's see what the two sides are looking like. We have quite a few more archers, about 2,000 more chariots. They do have heavy cavalry, which is kind of frightening. We have significantly more heavy infantry, though. They have more light cavalry, and we have significantly more light infantry. We hopefully should be in pretty decent shape to take on this war. But I've seen stranger things happen. Oh, we have an event. Disagreement on the highest level. I think I don't want to lose any loyalty for my general of the first warband, although the chief of the Margania clan, who is that? Seneca. I also don't want her to lose any loyalty since she is raising troops for me. I think in this case, because my loyalty with the general of the first warband, Marcus, is already super high, I am going to go ahead and side with Seneca. That's probably how you say that. Seneca instead. Looks like our enemies are starting to move troops closer to the border. I still feel like I'm in good shape, especially with all of my allies coming to my aid. And it looks like I'm about to be attacked. I'm going to go ahead and move in the reserve army I have, the first warband, and they are not going to attack. They're going to chicken out. They don't want to see what 18,550 of my soldiers will do to theirs. Oh, looks like they're readying an attack again. I'm going to try to bluff them off of that attack as well. It looks like we have succeeded. I'm slowly just trying to go through and occupy some land because I do know that as soon as they get the opportunity, my allies are going to take whatever land they have, and I have a feeling that the Dabunia would love to take as much of this area as they can, and I want it all to be mine. We are getting lucky. Our allies are taking care of their armies, and that's what I want. I would prefer it if my armies did very little fighting. I want my armies to do sieging. I don't want to lose my manpower fighting their armies in the field. I will if I have to, but it is not something I'm interested in doing. Meanwhile, I am just sitting here taking pretty serious attrition. Yeah, no matter where I go, this is probably my best bet. I'm only taking 1.94% attrition per month. Let's see, how is this siege going? I still don't have a wall breach. I still think I'm going to hold off on assaulting that fort, even though I do have plenty of light infantry, which is fairly decent at assaulting forts. We are currently losing, but a lot of that is because we don't control the war goal, which we're not going to for a minute. We're going to have to fight our way through the Corytania to make it to the Brigantia to take the war goal, excuse me. When we do that, though, I have a feeling we'll be in pretty good shape. I don't want my kind of sieging army to get too out of position up here. I like to keep my armies grouped together so that they can reinforce one another. But, as I said, I do want to take as much land as I can. Taking land also gives me a chance to take slaves, and I would like plenty of them. It looks like I do at this point have a wall breach. I think with about 9,000 men between me and my ally, I do think I'm going to go ahead and press this button and order an assault. This could end up disastrously, but I need to go ahead and win this so that I can start pushing up north, hopefully before my ally is completely taken out of the war and they can concentrate all of their forces directly on me. So let's go ahead. I think I've got a good general. I have lots of light infantry. I've got some archers. Let's see what happens, shall we? Oh, I'm nervous. But it does look like I am going to handle it. Now, I have a chance to loot their capital, or loot their city. I can either just get 10 gold and gain some popularity, or I can get a little bit more gold and kill some of their pops, or does it just kill them? Or does it move them as slaves? I believe it just kills them. But I can get some more gold. And right now, I'm not making a lot of gold. I'm making 0.01 ducats per month. So gold is of a premium. And I think what's going to do me the best is to just take as much gold as I can and empty out their provinces. This is going to allow me to just go ahead and start sieging the provinces next to it. This also should allow me to go straight up north and into the Brigantian lands. I think, though, I'm going to go ahead and just try to siege down the other capital, or the other fort in the south, to kind of lock my control versus have my allies lock in their control of the entire southern region. I really don't want my 7,000 men to get tangled up with their 8,000. Although I would be more okay if my 10,000 men did. Apparently someone has made a miraculous recovery. That's always good to hear. I love it when people get better. I didn't know they were sick. Was my guy sick? Oh, he had Mintargra. Mintargra. Curious. I wonder what happened there. So, I have 7,000 men and 10,000 men. Where are my allies going? I'm able to see them. I am retreating with my 7,000 men. Where are you going? They are movement locked. Where are they heading? Alright, so they are coming to reinforce this fight. I could also go reinforce that fight with all of my men. How many soldiers do they have? Alright, so it'd be about 12,000 against my about 17,000. That's something that I think I could win, especially because I have a feeling that my troops are slightly better than theirs. However, I am not interested in fighting in pitched battle quite yet. I'm even okay if they start to re-siege some of their own land. What I'm interested in is keeping my men alive. And letting my allies take the brunt of the actual fighting. I know, I'm a pretty terrible ally. But we still have quite a few more troops, it looks like. They have more chariots. We have apparently started recruiting some heavy cavalry. They only have 1 unit of heavy infantry. We vastly outnumber them there. They outnumber us with light infantry, but we do still outnumber them quite a bit, quite handedly. Once we are able to go and take the war goal, I have a pretty good feeling about how this war is going to turn out. Although they are moving about 15,000 men to land that we have conquered, I would prefer it if they didn't just have a free hand at reconquering that. I would love it if my allies could get in their way a little bit. I'm going to move my 10,000 men a little closer to their army. preferably, I would like it if they wasted a bunch of their manpower trying to take that fort back, while I am over here trying to take their fort, and my allies are up in the north. No, that's still not a fight I want to get involved in. All right, let's look at our allies in the north. They are not it does not seem are holding off the advances, and it seems like at this point they are concentrating most of their effort to the south. I feel like I have the primary force of all of my allies' nations at this point, although I did just see 10,000 allies in the north. I think I'm going to try to join in on this battle with everything I have. I would like to beat them. We will see what happens. All right, looks like I got started well with the early roll. Although they have the tactics advantage, and it's a hefty one. Wow, 20% strength versus skirmishing. Oh man. Still, I should have more men. I'm getting more men by the day. It would be nice if I could go ahead and defeat them before their army arrived. It looks like I have, if their army is indeed coming my way. This screen's a little misleading because I know a lot more than 141 of them died. Oh yes, right here. We lost about 1,400, they lost about 2,100. Okay, good ratio, good ratio. I don't necessarily... Where are they going? If I traveled north, will my allies come with me? No, then I don't want to do that. Instead, I would love it if my allies, if I could just take these forts. Or, it appears that my allies are going to attack. What happens if I put all of my forces? Nope, don't want to do that. It is not predicting a victory. Any minute now, hopefully, I'm going to win this siege. When that happens, I'll free up another 5,000 of my men. They are having some desertion problems, which is always just fine by me. So it appears that my allies are trying to engage. I might send my 10,000 men, although right now it's only 8,800, that direction to see if they can be of any help. It's not appearing to go so well for my friends though, so I'm going to pull them back. As I said, I don't want to do too much of the actual fighting until I absolutely have to. This fort hopefully will fall at any minute. I'm still actually doing fairly well for the amount of manpower that I have. How are they doing with their manpower? They still have about 11,000 left. How about my allies? 16,000, perfect. They are quite a ways from being done. 12,000. 19,000. Versus the Cantanian have about 11,000. Oh dear, 20,000 men in the field, or that can be called up, 11,000. All right, so this war might be a bloodbath, but I feel like we're making gains. I feel like this is the primary threat. This is their main army, whereas our main army is a little bit more dispersed, or our armies are a little bit more dispersed, but still in good order. I am going to I'm going to hold. I'm just going to keep sieging. I feel like we're in good shape. They're going to burn through their men with high attrition, hopefully. All right, and I've taken another fort. I think once again, I want plenty of money. So I am going to say none shall hide. Give me the money. I have unfortunately had a harvest failure, which means I'm going to have to give some of that money back. So we'll do that. And now I can start moving forward and taking the war goal. That's going to start giving me a ticking war score, which is going to help us in this war. And in fact, now is a time when I would be okay engaging their main army with all of my men. Where are they going? Going right here. Should I engage them? Will they get there first? May 26th? May 16th now. I don't want to engage. I want to engage when I have a defensive advantage. Like right where I'm standing, although I don't know how much of a defensive advantage I will have. It's going to be close. I'm going to try to get all my men there. Okay, and right off the bat, it looks like we have the advantage. We have the advantage in morale, as well as we have chosen the better tactic, which this battle could not have started out any better. As more of our men come in, we seem to be in better and better shape. Oh, would you look at this? Our allies from the north seem to have made a breakthrough and are now at least starting to attempt, they are not succeeding, but attempt to siege down the Brigantian capital. I am still moving more and more of my men into the fight. And this fight is going well. You can see that their line is starting to crumble. My line still seems to be holding strong. And we appear to have won what I think might just be one of the more decisive blows of the war. They lost 8,500 troops, almost half of their total army, whereas we lost only 6,000 of our men. That was a major victory, a major win for what I'm going to go ahead and call the Southern Alliance. I am going to have to hurry up and start taking some of the war goal, though, or I might get unnecessarily white-pieced out. But to this end, I should be able to, by simply starting to siege down some of the provinces up here, especially if I were to take the capital, be in a pretty good position. We have won again. It was only against 47 troops, though. Are they moving in? Where are they going? They're going to not where we are. Oh ho, we just moved a slave to Vento. Let's actually check. Because sometimes during wars, I will look down and I'll realize that my capital has just grown exponentially. We have 15 total pops. That's not too bad. Not too bad at all. We just defeated a phantom army, I think. We have defeated another phantom army. Oh no! This isn't good. We might lose this. I'm actually going to go ahead and just pull them back. I'm going to pull them back to our own territory. and use that army as hopefully an army that will come and siege some of this area down if my allies don't get to it before me. There we go. This is going to be another major fight, one that hopefully we will win. They do have the tactics advantage, though. And now the advantage in manpower. We may have some allies coming to our rescue, though, if we can hold out. Alright, let's see what tactic they are using. They are using skirmishing. So I want to change him. It's a little cheesy, but I want to change him to something that's good against skirmishing. Deception. I'm going to go ahead and do it. He should be the best general on the field. If he can get there in time, he did. And now, we don't get necessarily a bonus, but they do get a weakness to deception. And our allies are marching our way. We just have to hold out a little bit longer. Can we do it? Our morale is looking good. Come on, allies! Come on, allies! Oh, where are they going? Where are they going? I need their help! These guys have to be coming to help me, right? Oh, I think I'm going to do it. It looks like my allies did eventually show up. This is going to be another huge victory for our alliance. Boy, I'm going to go ahead and say we got a little lucky there. We lost a lot more men than they did. That is not necessarily good. Not good at all. Yeah, just not good in the slightest. We are in trouble as far as manpower goes. We really are going to need to start making some gains in this war, or we are never going to get what we wanted. I'm just going to recruit one cohort of light infantry here, just very quickly. Well, I don't necessarily want to turn the other cheek because one of my generals will lose 40 loyalty. That's not very good. Instead, I guess... well, then one of my generals will start seeing me as a rival. If he loses 40 loyalty, he will be at... what, 33 loyalty. That's not very good, but I really don't want him to see me as a rival. What happens? But I cannot afford right now to have him lose that much loyalty. I just can't. I need him for this war. My allies will hopefully keep me in this, but my manpower is starting to run low. I'm going to try to start using this army in the south as a force that can take some of these territories. It looks as if when I took this city, I not only took it, but I completely ravaged it, and it has no pops left in it. That's not necessarily great for helping me build the empire that I'm hoping to build. Hopefully I will get the chance to colonize that later. Would be way too costly to try to siege or to besiege this. I have quite a few allies here that are hopefully going to really help me out. I'm going to leave them right there so that they will walk right into my trap, I guess. Where are my allies going? Please don't go south, guys. I really need them up north. I need them up north so bad. Because this army of 6,800 is going to come down and try to relieve this siege. And at this point, they outnumber me, don't they? Yeah, they're coming down. They want more. At this point, I do at least have positive war score. They don't want any peace, so they will not let me take anything. I also need 10 war score just to take any territory. Oh dear, they're coming. I need this army of 16,000 men to come help me. I'm moving my army of what will hopefully be of about 2,000 men up. I might try to siege it, or to besiege it. I will lose so many men doing that, though. I just don't have the men. Okay, that was good. Food shortage is good. I'm going to combine my armies, or at least the armies I control. There are still a couple of clan chiefs in here. Both my clan chiefs in here. It'd be really nice if I could get lucky and just get this on a 7% roll. Not that lucky today, although, again, I had a good siege check for me. Still don't have a breach. They still don't have full morale. My allies seem to be doing well. I'm feeling a little bit better. I'm feeling a little bit better about the way this is going. I don't mind if they take this back. And I've done it. I have taken their capital. Once again, in this case, I think I'm just actually... I don't know if I will necessarily be able to, or be able or even want to take this territory in a peace deal, so I have no problem just taking all the pops out of it. One pop was captured and taken to Camolindunum, excuse me. This is going to start capturing all that territory. Let's just see what would happen. They still wouldn't accept a peace deal. But they're getting closer. I'm going to fight this war out. I have decent allies that are helping me. We're looking pretty good. I would love to take as much land as possible. I need to take as much land as possible. I have a pretty good general. Taking that fort was what needed to happen. Alright, it looks like I have a clan dispute. That's part of the internal clan politics that you just get with tribes, a dispute between the clans of Seneca, Margana, and Bronwyn Aka. I actually knew a girl named Bronwyn. Bronwyn has arisen as both of them want certain valuable lands in somewhere. Both sides have their claims to the area, and supporting one of them over the other could end up with disloyalty from the Spurn clan. Let's see. I think this is the way to go. She's very loyal, so losing 25 loyalty won't kill me that much. I will get some gold, and I will get local tax rate. I think that is a little bit better than cohort recruit speed, at least for where I am right now, because I don't have the manpower to be recruiting many people for a little while anyway. Yeah. This manpower is just going to tick back so slow. I have really depleted the country for a long time. Hopefully, I will gain enough land in this war. And it is all my culture, so hopefully I won't have to deal with too many issues with unrest. I've captured someone, that's good. Looks like Brigantia, excuse me, is looking for peace. No peace, only war, at least for now. It's good to know that they are in dire straits as well. Although they still have plenty more manpower than I do. Once again, I'm going to get that manpower recovery. I may have just doomed 27 of my men to die. They couldn't quite make it. Nope, and where's she retreating to? They really do want peace. As I said, no peace, only war. Let's see what they'll give me, though. They will give me the entirety of their southern neighbors. Oh, but I can take more. Do I want to take more? What will this do? 12 aggressive expansion isn't bad. I would love it. To pretty much just take the entire coastline up all the way into my ally. We'll see how that goes. I do think that very soon I am just going to have to call quits on this war. I'm just running out of men. I just don't have the men, the manpower. And they do, honestly. They just couldn't defeat me in the field. I want to stick around and try to take one more capital fort. That's the question. Oh. Cantacea wants me to attack Dabunia. I will not be attacking anyone for quite a while. So the question is, do I want to stick around this war long enough to... No. I don't think I should worry about taking out the Parisea quite yet. I'm completely out of manpower. I feel like this has been a very successful war. I am going to take as much as I can. Oh, but they don't want to give me everything anymore. I definitely want to take over at least all of the Cantacea. I also want... That's so close. Yeah, I'm going to have to stick it out for just a little bit longer when I think that that would be a pretty decent chunk of land to get in one war. So unfortunately, we're just going to have to keep fighting. Maybe my allies will defeat enough of them. We'll just have to see. Overall, though, I'm feeling pretty good about how this war went. I do wish that I didn't have to sacrifice so many. But here I am. It's done now. Looks like I'm going to be spamming that increased manpower omen for quite a while. Looks like I have another event. My rival of researcher could lose 10 loyalty. or my researcher could. I guess I'll just have the rival. Ooh, I could have both the rival of the researcher and my researcher lose 5 loyalty each, which I'm kind of okay with, because since my researcher has very high loyalty to begin with. And I would get 10 stability, and I like stability, especially since I am going to have a pretty high unrest here in just a second when I inevitably hit that peace button, which, let's see, can I get anything else? I think that this is going to be the piece that I get. This is going to move us to a regional power, which, unlike in past iterations of the game, is not going to completely wipe away all the alliances we've made. It will just make it so that I cannot get... It will keep the alliances that I have, not turn them into guarantees, and it will not let me get alliances with smaller nations anymore. I only have 14 aggressive expansion, but my popularity is so high that I'm going to go ahead and do this second, banish those of class, and put the rest to the sword to decrease my aggressive expansion. And here, now that we are a regional power, are the various buffs and indeed some negatives that we will get. Overall, though, I think that this has been a very successful war. I'm going to go ahead and select my armies and start moving them back home. The good news about tribes, though, I will say, is that normally if I were to use all of my manpower in a war, and I really do mean all of my manpower in a war, it would really cripple me going forward. However, not necessarily with tribes, because tribal manpower, or the manpower for the little armies that your tribes raise, for instance, this army here, which Seneca is raising, and this army here that guy is raising, as well as this army from Brenwyn. And all of these armies are not replenished from my manpower. They have their own pool of manpower that they turn to. I have a feeling that each one of these will eventually raise about 3,000 men. So that's going to be a little 9,000 stack of units that we can kind of turn to while we're building back up our main armies. I'm going to go ahead and split off probably all of the light infantry off of this army. Yeah, I think whenever I get to Venta, I will go ahead and split this army apart, take away all of the light infantry, and break that up into 2 separate armies. Anyway, I think that this is enough for today. We have made some serious gains. We have fought an absolutely devastating war for really the entire British Isles. It was just kind of a bloodbath there for a while, especially for the Iceni. But the Iceni have emerged victorious. They have increased the size of their land by quite a bit. Now they have how many pops? Briganti only have 55, but the Iceni have 152 pops. That is not too shabby considering just a few episodes ago we were hovering down in the low 30 range. So we have significantly increased the power and size of our country. We now are really going to have to think about stability, consolidating our power, building back up a little bit. But that is what our next episode is going to be about. I hope you've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed it. I hope to see you again soon. I'll be back again tomorrow.